Let's talk about the connection between autism and eating habits. My name's Taylor, and I run support groups to help late diagnosed autistic adults like myself navigate life on the spectrum. And one issue that tends to upset a lot of us is eating. There's a term that's been really helpful for me to understand called Arfid, which stands for Avoidant Restrictive Food Intake Disorder. And what this means is that sometimes we might have issues avoiding food, a lot of times due to sensory issues, right? Like we don't like the texture of something, we don't like the smell, we don't like the taste. And oftentimes we might gravitate towards one or two, what I like to call safe foods that always sound good because the texture is the same every time, it's consistent, we know what to expect. This can lead us to having a very limited diet. It can also further exacerbate gastrointestinal issues. That's a big sentence. A lot of people on the spectrum, I believe that this is because our nervous systems are on high alert and we're hypervigilant a lot of times. It creates inflammation and upset in our stomach, and a lot of times we have trouble digesting things that other people don't seem to have an issue with. And so this is why you might notice, I'm not a medical doctor, this is just from experience. That's why you might notice food allergies in a lot of autistic people. This can especially be an issue with children, and spoiler alert, children grow up to be adults. But I have two autistic kids, and they had an autistic friend over, so we had, between all of us, four autistic people in the house, and I made mac and cheese. And I ended up making mac and cheese four different ways for four different people because we all had different preferences for the texture and the flavor of that food. And an outsider might look at that and think, oh my gosh, why are you letting your children control your life like that? Why are you making mac and cheese four different ways? Well, if I don't, that ends in meltdowns that make things even more complicated. And it's not that the kids are being defiant or high maintenance or demanding. It's just that they need to eat a certain way. And I think rather than resisting that and thinking, oh, they're just being bratty, like they're spoiled, I'm not going to accommodate that. That's over the top, asking too much. I would suggest, if you're neurodivergent or you're accommodating neurodivergent kids, can you go with the flow? Can you just try to embrace the things that do work with your diet? And, we're just doing the best we can. So, one thing you can always do with eating and nutrition is make sure that you are staying hydrated. So, I know that many of us, sometimes we don't like the taste of just plain water. Um, Add lemon, add lime, add strawberries, infuse it with something fun, mint, basil, whatever you might, come up with some fun concoction. But always make sure that you're staying hydrated because this can really help a lot, especially when it comes to the digestion of our food.